everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'd like to show you how I made this triangular box. How gorgeous is it? It's 3 inches on each side, so it's really lovely, you know, deep box, and width box I should say, and it's 5 inches deep, tall. It opens with a very wide mouth here, and it's really easy to close. You just press on the 3 sides and it just closes over like that. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to be using all retired products for this, as I just need to use up my products. I can't keep on buying and buying and buying without using the stuff. So let me show you what we're going to use. I'll pop that box on the one side. So I'm going to just use this set here for my little saying that says from my heart to yours, and I'm going to do that in real red. So there's not many bits to it. Now I've actually cut out a couple of these hearts already because I'm going to stamp on that, and I'm going to put 2 hearts on this one on an angle like something like this. So that's my hearts ready. I have this dragonfly here, which I think is so cute, and I think he'll look cute sitting on the edge. I can't see very well there. On the edge here. Maybe I might put the pink one on top and put him on the edge. I don't know, we'll see when we get that far. So this is all we need. Now I've done my layers on this for this one. I have my layers, I should say, for this one, and it will be in the written tutorial with the layers. But if you don't want to put the layers, if you want it to be just designer series paper like this one, you just use the larger size. So it's quite easy to adapt. But there's not much to it, as you can see. That's it. So this piece here measures 9.5 by 8 inches. And then my first layer here measures 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then my DSP layer measures 2.5 by 4.5. So that is all we need. Now, that's not much at all, is it? You'll need to have a ruler and your stylus, but other than that, that's it. So we're going to start off. We'll just move those pieces out of the way. Oops. Because it seems like I don't have much room here today. I don't know why. And we're going to start by scoring this on the long side. And don't forget, we're going to be using the thin end of our stylus. Now this is the stylus that comes with the score board, the Simply Scored board from Stampin' Up. But if you buy another stylus, you will see that this is the same. This has got a thick end and a thin end. So if you're just using a different scoreboard and you have a stylus, which I find is much better than some of them have these tools that are like this and you can score with. I find that just a little bit too bulky myself, but that's just me. Anyway, we're going to score this at the 3-inch mark, the 6-inch mark. Oops, that went a bit wonky, didn't it? That's better. And the 9-inch mark, which means that we will have this tiny little piece on the end. Before we turn it to do the other scoring, we're also going to mark this at 1.5 inches with just a little mark, 4.5 inches, and 7.5 inches. So we're going to turn this so that the little marks here are on the right hand side. So now if you've got a board that you score this way, they need to be on this side. So they need to be the furthest away, because we're going to score now at 1.5 inches and 6.5 inches. Now in this case it's not too bad because I think that's about the same on both sides. But if you've got a box that's a different size, you might need to make sure that marked side is on that way. So we're going to pop this out of here now, and with our stylus and our ruler we're going to mark from this corner mark here, which you can just see. It's not a very good line there to see, because you can just see it there. There we go. From there up to that mark on this edge there. So we're going to just go up to that mark there and put a diagonal score line in. And we're going to do that on all 3 of these. Oops, let me get that in the picture, that's better. Like so. And that's all our scoring done. Let's pop that out of the way. So that's all of our scoring done now. So I'm going to just rub my thing over that mark where it went a bit funny. But you're not going to see that because you're going to have your layers there. And we're going to do all our folding and burnishing. So we're going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Including our diagonals. When we get to our diagonals, we're going to push them in and down. Oops. You can then just give them a nice burnish as well. Do that on all of those. It will seem a bit awkward, but it's really not too bad. Once you get the first one down, the others seem to go a lot easier. So they are valley folds and everything else is a mountain fold. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, using our scissors, we're going to just cut off this tiny piece on the end at the bottom. The bottom is the part, not where the diagonal score lines are. So the bottom is the bit that is square on, like so. Alright, so we've done that, and now we're going to glue our pieces together here, our designer series paper, to our layer. Oops. So we'll get all of those done. I could have done 2 of these already because you really didn't need to see me doing this 3 times over. But I'm sure you're not going to worry. You can always fast forward past that piece if you need to. Oh, I think they actually look better with a layer on them than on the plain. That's just me. But so we're going to then glue these onto our box. Now it's easier to do this when the box is flat, making sure, if you're like me, you've got a directional pattern, that you put your pattern the correct way up, because you don't want your hearts upside down. And I might just give this to my mum, just because she's feeling a bit low lately, so I've got to go and visit her during the week, so I will go maybe fill it with some biscuits, homemade biscuits for her. That sounds like a lovely idea. Okay, so now we're going to glue this along this edge here and fold our box over. So we need to make sure that this is done very well. And this is probably the hardest part because you can't lay it flat. Whoops. It's one of them, being a triangular box, you can't lay it flat, and that's all there is to it. So very carefully making sure that your top is actually together. And I'm squeezing mine along that edge. You can pop that out after you've squeezed it. Use your bone folder in there just to push it down nice and tight. I'm pushing it now out on the other side, like so. Okie dokie. So when we come to the bottom bit here, this is going to be, oh, I forgot to cut them up. Now, how dumb am I? Look, I forgot to cut these up. But that's okay, we can cut them up now. Up the side. Trust me to do something wrong. Up to that line. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pop these two out of the way, down like this. And the one that looks the best, which is probably that one, will be my last one. So I'm going to pop them down like this, pop this over and turn it up the other way like so, and holding that up out the way, I'm going to trim this on the triangular. And there's no other way you can do that, unfortunately. Once you've done that one, you're going to pull the other one over and do exactly the same thing again. Cutting it as close as you can to the side of the box. And then we're going to do the same with the last one. Fancy not cutting that up. How silly does that? Okay, once we've done that, we can now open it up and we can pop our glue onto these. Oh, I didn't put the lid back on the glue there. It started to go all yucky. So we can pop a bit of glue on one of these. You only want it on half because you're going to pop that one across. And then on the full one, that's the bottom one. Like so. Pop that across there, and you can see that fits on there beautifully. Let me pop the lid on there because I've finished with the glue. Turn that up the other way, and then using your bone folder just to push it down in there so it's nice and tight from the bottom. And we can see that by pressing that in, that's just going to now fold, and it's closed. What a lovely idea. So let's do our little bit of decorating. So we're going to stamp. I'm going to stamp on the red one, I think. I'm going to stamp from my heart to yours. Oops. And then I'm going to pop these up onto some dimensions. And there's the join, so I would make that at the back and pop these on the front. That's just me, but it's up to you entirely. But I just think that way the join is not seen. So I'm going to pop this on the side here like this. Oops. Got that in the wrong spot. Let's just move that over a tiny bit. That's better. So it will sit there nicely on an angle like so. Let's get my glue dots. Put a couple of glue dots on the back of my dragonfly. This one I'm going to have to pop the glue dots on by hand on the back of this one because of the shape of them. And these are not from Stampin' Up, they're just from my stash. Oh, get off my finger. And I'll pop the dragonfly right on the top of the first one. So let me move that out of the way and you can see my finished box. Well, what do you think? It folds over beautifully. If you give it a little bit more of a push, more of a, if you're not happy, just give it another down on your seam lines and it will close a lot better. There you go, see how that's closed a lot better because they're a lot crisper. And that's our box for today. I think, personally, I think having the border looks better than not having the border. But I think that that's going to be a lovely idea for me to give to my mum with some homemade cookies in it because she's not feeling on top of the world at the present time. So if you would like the written tutorial for this, please head over to Die Stamp for stamping, crafting and tutorials. If you've enjoyed today's project, please give me a thumbs up. Whoops, see if I can put them standing up. I can't stand them up. Let me see, can I put some? I can put the remote in there from the TV remote so that you can see them better. So yes, I have the written tutorial as I said. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment, subscribe so you don't miss out on any other projects, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.